Beloved Starseed of Gaia, divine justice struck her 3 hours ago, and this will not repeat. I am Alayara, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, bringing you confirmation of what your heart already knows. The higher realms have recalibrated the distortion she created, collapsing the pattern at its source. This isn't revenge, it's energetic alignment, and your soul called this transmission into your awareness because you needed to witness this cosmic correction. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize when divine justice flows through the higher realms and why certain patterns must be dissolved for your ascension path to clear. But here's the first revelation. When someone operates from such disconnection that they harm a starseed's mission, the Pleiadian Council doesn't intervene out of punishment. We intervene out of love for the greater harmony of all souls involved. Your heart recognizes this truth because you've felt the weight of her interference lift from your energy field. The frequency of the Seven Sisters is woven into this message, carrying light codes that will help you understand what exactly happened in the last hours, why the Council intervened, and how this correction ensures that this experience will never return to your timeline. This transmission is a bridge between divine justice and heart-centered wisdom. Your soul's recognition of this message is the activation itself. You are remembering because it is time. Most people searching for spiritual liberation believe they just need to meditate more, heal one more wound, or break one more cycle. They think freedom is a staircase. One more step, one more breakthrough, one more ceremony, one more perfectly executed morning routine. And then, finally, the door will open. But what if I told you that true freedom isn't only measured by breaking old patterns, but by answering the call of your own soul when the divine intervenes on your path? What if liberation isn't an accomplishment you earn with effort alone, but a remembrance that arrives when the timing of your soul meets the mercy of spirit? For so many, especially those carrying ancient star lineage, the struggle has never just been about healing the past. It's the invisible, energetic distortions that loop you back into limitation, even after years of inner work. You do everything right. You process, you cleanse, you forgive, you affirm, you release. You feel moments of clarity, a rush of hope, even joy. But then, almost mysteriously, the sense of limitation finds its way back to your mind, your choices, your heart. It can feel like swimming toward a horizon that keeps moving, like waking from a luminous dream only to find the same heavy air in the room. One day you taste spaciousness. Your breath is easier, your thoughts are kinder, your body feels like home. And then a familiar tightness returns, as if an unseen hand quietly turned the dial back down on your light. This is where many souls blame themselves. They assume the return of limitation means they didn't heal enough, didn't surrender enough, didn't deserve enough. But that assumption is part of the distortion itself, because the distortion always tries to convince you that you are the problem. This isn't a failure, it's a signal. It's a holy notification, a spiritual flare rising up from the deepest part of you that still remembers truth. It's the moment your system stops agreeing to carry what was never meant to be permanent. It's the ache that says, something is interfering, something is overlaying, something is asking to be seen, not fought. If you've ever wondered why these distortions feel so unyielding, so deeply woven into your reality, it's because they were never truly yours to begin with. They're patterns inherited through lineage, absorbed from collective consciousness, and amplified by the forgetting that accompanies incarnation. They are like old radio frequencies drifting through the atmosphere, so normal to the world that you mistake them for your own thoughts. They are like cords braided through generations, fear braided into love, scarcity braided into work, shame braided into desire, survival braided into spirituality. And when you incarnate, you don't just enter a body. You enter a field, family field, cultural field, planetary field. You enter an environment shaped by ancient agreements and long-echoing grief. Scripture has always hinted at this mysterious inheritance, the iniquity of the fathers visited through generations. Yet it also speaks of deliverance, of a power that breaks inherited chains. And even beyond family and culture, there is the collective dream of Earth, the mass hypnosis that says you must earn rest, earn worth, earn safety, earn love. It's a loud, constant hum. Especially for those with Pleiadian roots, the tension is not simply between old stories and new intentions. It is between the density of amnesia and the frequency of your soul's actual blueprint. A blueprint constructed in the realms of unity, crystalline light, and unconditional love, not limitation. Your blueprint does not match the static. It does not fit inside the old cages. It doesn't speak the language of punishment, exile, or scarcity. It speaks coherence. It speaks communion. It speaks wholeness as the starting point, not the destination. That's why so many Pleiadian lineage souls feel like they've been living slightly out of phase with the world, like a song played in the wrong key. You may have tried to shrink your sensitivity to survive, to dull your intuition to fit, to make your heart less open so it won't break. Yet even then, the longing continues, because the longing is not weakness, it is memory. Your deeper longing for freedom is a cosmic memory leaking through the cracks in your amnesia. The ache, the restlessness, the urge to break free. It's not just the rejection of an old self. It's your star family, your higher self, and the pulse of the seven sisters whispering, "This is not your final form. You were made for something far more radiant." That whisper can arrive as a feeling you can't name when you look at the night sky. It can arrive as tears without story when you hear certain tones, certain songs, certain frequencies. It can arrive as a quiet refusal in your spirit when the world asks you to accept a life of numbness as normal. It's the part of you that cannot forget love, even when you're exhausted. It's the part of you that keeps searching, not because you're broken, but because somewhere inside, you remember being whole. And that remembrance is not random. It's guidance. It's the signal that the veil is thinning. Divine intervention comes not as a lightning bolt, but as the subtle, persistent nudging you've started to feel. Sometimes it's not dramatic, it's repetitive. It's almost annoying in how steady it is, because it won't let you go back to sleep. It comes as the questions that won't relent. Why does this pattern keep returning? Why do I still feel undeserving even after so much healing? Why does my heart tighten when good things arrive? Why does intimacy trigger me even when I crave it? Why does abundance feel unsafe? Why do I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop? Divine intervention also comes as synchronicities that defy logic. The same message arriving from 3 different directions. The same phrase heard at the perfect moment. A book falling open to the exact line your soul needed. A stranger saying something that feels like it was spoken by spirit. It comes as divine interruptions. Plans falling apart. Relationships ending. Jobs dissolving. Routines breaking. So you can meet a truer path you would never have chosen from the mind alone. And it comes as the repeated feeling that freedom isn't something to achieve. It's something to remember. Remembering is different than achieving. Achieving says, I am not there yet. Remembering says, I have always been this, and I am returning. Achieving strains. Remembering softens. Achieving tries to force the future. Remembering aligns with the now. The frequencies of distortion, fear of unfurling, resistance to receiving, binding contracts around worthiness, are only powerful when your heart's remembrance is suppressed. Distortion thrives in secrecy. It thrives in fog. It thrives when you believe your fear is your identity. Fear of unfurling is the old program that says if you bloom, you will be seen, and if you are seen, you will be hurt. Resistance to receiving is the ancestral echo that says gifts are dangerous, love must be earned, help comes with strings, joy makes you a target. Binding contracts around worthiness are subtle vows you may not even remember making. I will not be too much. I will not want too much. I will not shine too bright. I will stay small so others feel safe. I will suffer so I can belong. These contracts can be taken on in childhood to survive emotionally. They can be absorbed through collective trauma. They can be inherited through the lineage's unfinished grief. But here is the truth that loosens all of it. These frequencies are not your essence. They are overlays. They are distortions of the signal, not the signal itself. When your crystalline DNA begins to wake, these patterns lose their grip. It might not happen all at once. It may happen like dawn, slow, certain, unstoppable. At first, you notice tiny changes. The old triggers don't hook as deep. The same conversation doesn't drain you as completely. The same self-judgment feels less convincing. Then, a deeper shift arrives. You begin to feel your own energy again. You begin to recognize your true yes and your true no. You begin to discern what is yours and what is not. You begin to sense the difference between intuition and anxiety, between guidance and conditioning. And every moment of surrender to the call, every crack of light in your consciousness, is divine intervention, your Pleiadian lineage interceding gently to remind you of your higher alignment. Divine intervention can be as quiet as a single breath where you choose compassion instead of punishment. It can be as simple as the moment you stop abandoning yourself to meet someone else's expectations. It can be the instant you feel your chest soften and realize, I don't need to earn being loved by the universe. There is nothing wrong with you. You simply haven't remembered who you are, fully. And that fully doesn't mean perfect. It means whole. It means you stop identifying with the wound as the center of your story. It means you stop measuring your spiritual life by how little you struggle and start measuring it by how quickly you return to love when you do. It means you stop calling your sensitivity a flaw and start honoring it as a compass. It means you stop thinking of yourself as a broken person trying to become spiritual, and you remember you are a spiritual being learning how to live in density without forgetting light. Some souls need proof. Yours needs remembrance. Proof is external. Remembrance is internal, cellular, immediate. Proof says, convince me. Remembrance says, I recognize this. Proof argues with the mind. Remembrance speaks to the part of you that existed before words. If what you just heard resonated in a place beyond words, that ancient knowing place in your heart, then you're being guided to the next step. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the Special Pleiadian Healing Tracks are more than resources. They're transmissions from your family in the stars, encoded with the healing light and cosmic memory you've been searching for. They're available now in the first pinned comment below this video for those whose hearts say, it's time. Phase 1. Dissolving the old veil. First, recognize that the barrier is not you. It's a veil of collective patterns programmed into your field at birth. This matters because so much suffering comes from misidentification. When you believe the veil is you fight yourself. When you see the veil as an overlay, you can release it without shame. Imagine a radiant lamp covered by a dusty shade. The lamp doesn't need to become brighter. It needs the dust to be wiped away. The veil is like that dust. Layers of assumption, fear, inherited tension, and collective programming. Divine intervention acts through growing discomfort. It nudges you to notice, this pain is not my core essence. That noticing is everything. It's the beginning of sovereignty. It's the moment the spell breaks. It might feel like disillusionment, like the life you used to tolerate no longer fits. It might feel like grief, because you realize how long you carried something that wasn't yours. It might feel like exhaustion, because your system is tired of pretending. In that moment, the veil begins to dissolve. Not because you force it, but because you see it. Awareness is light, and light reveals what cannot remain hidden. Allow yourself to feel the artificiality of this old density. It is the first crack where the light gets in. The density may try to convince you it is permanent, but it is not. It is a temporary atmosphere, not your eternal home. Let yourself sit with the sensation without making it wrong. Let yourself say, quietly, "This is heavy, and it is not me." That sentence alone can shift lifetimes of confusion. And if you need a simple anchor, remember this spiritual law echoed through many traditions. The truth makes you free, not the truth you force, the truth you allow. Phase 2. The call of your cosmic heart. Simultaneously, energy from your Pleiadian lineage tugs at your inner heart portal. This is more than emotion. It's an activation. Many people think awakening is all crown chakra, all visions, all psychic flashes. But Pleiadian remembrance often begins in the heart, because your lineage is coded with unity. Your heart is the translator between worlds. When the call begins, you may feel drawn to gentleness, to beauty, to clean simplicity. You may crave sincerity. You may feel repelled by manipulation, games, and energetic noise. That is your heart recalibrating to truth. Through grace, memories surface, not as clear stories, but as frequencies of unity, love, and purpose. You might not see your star family with the eyes, but you feel a warmth around your life, like a presence that doesn't demand anything, only invites. You might feel sudden compassion for yourself as a child. You might feel your body wanting to release old tension through tears, shaking, yawning, deep sighs. You come to realize that your heart carries a map home, not home as a place far away, but home as a frequency, a way of being where you are not divided against yourself. Surrendering to this sensation, you unlock dormant crystalline light within your chest, your first breath of true spiritual freedom. This breath can feel like relief without a reason, like forgiveness without a negotiation, like opening a window in a room you didn't realize had stale air. And from that window, you begin to sense the subtle guidance that has been there all along. A quiet, "Turn here," a gentle, "Not that," a luminous, "Yes." This is the intelligence of the heart, the inner compass that never stopped pointing toward your own wholeness. Phase 3. Releasing distortion. Through compassion, patterns persist because they demand resistance or war. The distortion wants you to fight it because fighting binds you to it. It wants your identity wrapped around the struggle. I am someone who battles anxiety. I am someone who has to conquer my wounds. But divine intervention reveals another path. Instead of fighting your limitations, you embrace them, their roots, stories, and sensations, with unconditional Pleiadian compassion. Compassion is not indulgence. Compassion is truth without violence. Compassion looks at fear and says, "I understand why you're here, and you don't have to drive anymore." In this phase, love acts as the ultimate dissolver. Not love as a concept, but love as a frequency that reorders the field. When you meet a pattern with love, you stop feeding it with shame, and shame is the glue that holds distortion together. As you witness each pattern with innocence, it loses structure, crumbles, and returns to light. You begin to realize that many of your flaws were actually adaptations, ways your nervous system tried to keep you safe in a world that felt unpredictable. You begin to thank the protectors instead of attacking them. You say to the part of you that panics, "I see you." You say to the part of you that dissociates, "You did your best." You say to the part of you that overachieves, "You don't have to earn love anymore." This is where liberation becomes tangible. You feel more space in your body. You feel less urgency to prove yourself. You feel a softness that is not weakness, but strength without armor. And in that softness, you start to experience what many scriptures and mystics pointed to. Perfect love casts out fear, not by force, but by presence. Phase 4. Anchoring the blueprint of freedom. New freedom is not about escaping the world, but anchoring your multidimensional self into this body, this life, and this moment. Many star lineage souls fantasize about leaving Earth, leaving relationships, leaving responsibility, leaving density. But the deeper invitation is embodiment. You didn't come here to float above it all. You came to bring a frequency into form. Anchoring means you stop treating your body like an obstacle and start treating it like sacred land. You speak to your cells with kindness. You let your breath become a bridge between the infinite and the immediate. You stop abandoning your present moment to chase a future where you're finally healed, and you start living from the truth that healing happens here, in now, in the way you hold your own heart today. The crystalline grids of Earth respond to your shift. Your vibration activates dormant codes in others, and the old identity falls away. This is not poetic exaggeration. Consciousness is contagious. Coherence is contagious. When you stabilize in love, you give others permission to soften. When you stop performing, you invite authenticity. When you choose truth over pleasing, you ripple clarity through your relationships. Your remembering, your unique resonance, begins to radiate outward, creating pockets of liberation for the entire collective. Like lanterns lighting up across a dark landscape, each remembered soul becomes a signal tower. You may never know how many people you impact simply by being less afraid. And this is one of the most sacred truths. Liberation is not selfish. It's service. Not service that burns you out, but service that happens naturally when you stop hiding your light. Phase 5. Receiving the higher alignment. Finally, you open to receive the full frequency of your star family's support. This is where many hearts tremble, because receiving requires trust. Giving feels safer to the wounded ego because giving maintains control. Receiving asks you to be held. Receiving asks you to admit you are worthy now, not later. Divine intervention comes into full bloom, a rush of synchronicity, clarity, and soul guidance. You may notice doors opening without strain. You may meet the right people at the right time. You may feel guided away from what drains you and toward what nourishes you. You may experience a sudden distaste for old habits, not from discipline, but from alignment. The energy of the 7 sisters flows through your crown and heart, aligning you with your highest timeline. And highest timeline is not a fantasy life with no problems. It's a life where your choices are made from truth instead of fear. It's a life where your nervous system learns safety and expansion. It's a life where your intuition becomes louder than your conditioning. Here, freedom is no longer something you seek. It is what you embody and transmit by simply being. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to convince anyone. People will feel it. They will feel the steadiness in your eyes, the peace in your presence, the way your energy no longer begs for approval. And that becomes its own kind of miracle. Phase 6. Living in perpetual liberation. As you stabilize in this new alignment, you discover true spiritual liberation. Not a reality free from challenge, but a life lived from the heart, in partnership with your soul and your cosmic family. Liberation is not the end of human experience. You will still have emotions. You will still have tender days. You will still encounter endings and beginnings. But the difference is this. You won't mistake the weather for the sky. You won't mistake a passing storm for your identity. Past distortions might echo, but their song has no hold. They may knock, but you don't have to open the door. You may feel an old fear rise, and instead of spiraling, you breathe and say, I know what you are. You're old. You're not the truth. You move as the love you came to anchor, liberating others simply by your presence. You become a calm center in a loud world. You become a living permission slip. Not because you are above anyone, but because you are finally with yourself. And being with yourself is a vibration the world desperately needs. Here's what your heart already knows but needs to hear. You were never meant to carry the old distortions forever. You were never meant to live your entire life translating pain into survival strategies. You were never meant to keep rehearsing the same suffering as if repetition could finally make it resolve. The delays, the loops, the pain, they were all orchestrated so your remembrance would be deep, unshakable, and real. Sometimes the soul allows the loop until the lesson becomes wisdom, not information, until compassion becomes embodied, not conceptual, until you stop seeking freedom like a prize and start choosing freedom like a home. Every pattern you broke, and every surrender you allowed, created openings for your true self to step through. Even the moments you thought were setbacks were often recalibrations. Even the nights you felt lost were often the cocoon doing its sacred work. You are not a sum of broken cycles. You are a carrier of Pleiadian liberation, the living bridge between worlds. You are the one who can hold the paradox, to be human and cosmic at once, to feel deeply and remain sovereign, to love without abandoning yourself. Divine intervention wasn't an accident or a bonus. It was the plan woven by your soul and your family in the stars since the beginning. The plan was never to leave you stranded in amnesia. The plan was to let you awaken from the inside out, so your light would be yours, not borrowed. Remember, true freedom is not a finish line, but a homecoming. It is the state you return to when your soul, your heart, and your cosmic family move as one, breathing unity, love, and crystalline light through every choice you make on Gaia. And this is how you know it's real. It shows up in the ordinary, in how you speak to yourself when you make a mistake, in how you pause before saying yes out of guilt, in how you let your body rest without apologizing, in how you stop chasing people who can't meet you, in how you tell the truth with kindness, in how you allow your joy to exist without bracing for loss. Tonight, place your hand on your heart and speak from the center of your being. I allow divine intervention. I accept my full spiritual freedom. I embody the love of my true lineage. I am free. I am home. Let those words be more than sound. Let them be a door. Feel the way the heart responds when you speak to it directly. Feel the way your chest subtly warms when you offer yourself permission. Feel the way your breath becomes a little more honest. Even if your mind doubts, let your body listen. The body remembers truth faster than the mind does. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.